The female doctor was shocked to discover the new intern was the man she had slept with the night before, but she had no time to think about why he was here, because the patient on the operating table was in critical condition and needed immediate rescue. Fortunately, the man's arrival filled the gap left by the missing anesthetist. They worked together seamlessly, and the surgery was completed successfully. But just after it ended, she received a voice message from her husband, saying Grandpa wanted them to stay over that night, and he would come pick her up soon. A colleague admired how sweet their marriage still was after 3 years, but unexpectedly the man took out the hospital badge she had left at the hotel. Her heart tightened, and she immediately pulled him away. Turns out her marriage was just a family alliance. Her husband was also a department head at the same hospital, but no one knew. Their relationship was completely loveless. For 3 years, her husband never touched her, because he was still hung up on his first love. But to fulfill his sick grandfather's wish, he forced her to have a child, to help him compete for the family inheritance. He didn't even care who the father was. When she refused, he threatened her with her grandmother, and even used his influence to delay her grandmother's surgery. With no other choice, she had to agree despite her anger. Later she dressed up, and went to a bar. After spotting a suitable candidate, she walked straight over. They hit it off instantly and hooked up. The next morning when the man woke up, she was already gone. But seeing the bloodstain on the bed, he froze in shock. Then as he got out of bed, he found the hospital badge she had accidentally left behind. Looking at the photo of the woman he had secretly loved for years, he didn't want to miss this chance, so he immediately had his assistant submit a resume to her hospital. He planned to hide his identity and become her assistant, because he used to be an heir to a wealthy family, but had given it all up to study medicine for her. Now he finally had a chance to get close to her with this identity. The next day, the woman happened to do a pregnancy test at the hospital, but the result was negative. She felt a little disappointed, and even doubted whether the man was impotent. But unexpectedly she bumped into him. He told her directly he came for her. She quickly pulled him into a room, to avoid any misunderstandings from colleagues. But her husband saw the scene. Even though he had no feelings for her, a strange jealousy surged in his heart. The scheming woman beside him noticed the change, and held a grudge instantly. The woman then questioned what the man really wanted. He smiled and said he was doing a follow-up visit. She said she was satisfied, just that the sperm quality wasn't great, but she couldn't say it directly, so she brushed it off with other words. Just then a nurse rushed in, saying an ambulance had brought in a stabbing victim, who needed immediate surgery. But the anesthetist hadn't shown up, and a phone call revealed it was all the scheming woman's doing. She wanted something to go wrong, so the woman would take the blame, and wouldn't dare fight her for the scumbag again. Fortunately, just as the woman was panicking, the man showed up. He handed over his ID badge, and told her he was reporting for duty. With no other choice, she brought him into the OR. Luckily the surgery went smoothly, but before they could rest, the ER received another emergency. A patient had fallen from a height with a serious head injury. The scheming woman again used her connections to block the use of the helicopter, so the woman had to take the man in an ambulance to pick up the patient. On the way the patient suddenly worsened. With no other option, she performed a craniotomy in the ambulance. Unexpectedly the man she saved turned out to be a very influential figure. The hospital received a huge investment